second line, we see that the centimeters is left blank, the number of logs is 0, and the number of cubes is 3, and we don't know the length in meters. So we know that we have to use 3 cubes, and we're going to use that to fill in the rest. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 cubes, so that would be 3 centimeters. In the video before, where we used the cubes to find out how many logs and cubes went on each line. So we found that there were 3 cubes, and that would equal 3 centimeters. Now to find out how many meters it is, we move our decimal back 2 places. So the decimal would be after the 3, and we move it 1, 2. So, and we fill in that spot with a 0. So our length in meters is 0.03. And we know that is 3/100 of a meter. Our next length in centimeters says 8 centimeters. Let's find out how many cubes we need to make 8 centimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, for the next one, we know that 8 centimeters took 0 logs, but it did take us 8 cubes. And so we know that we need to move our decimal point over 2 places. So we need to put a decimal here, and then a 0, and an 8. On our screen, on this line, it says our length in meters is 0.3 meters. To figure out how many centimeters that is, we need to move our decimal place 2 spots. So if we move it over 1, and then we need to add a 0, so we have 30 centimeters. Let's figure out how many logs we need to make 30 centimeters. So here's 1 log, and that equals 10. Here's another log, and that equals 20. Here's another log, and that got us to 30. So it takes us 3 logs to get to 30 centimeters, or 0.3 meters. For the next one, we found out that it would take us 3 logs to get to 30. And so that would equal 30 centimeters. But there were 0 cubes. And how we figured that out is we moved the meters over 2 places to find out that it equals 30. So that, because it is 0.3 hundredths of a centimeter. So our next line says that we have 4 logs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that we have 3 cubes. 1, 2, 3. Whoops, I got moved a little bit. And so that equals 43 centimeters. So we have 4 logs and 3 cubes. We know that that means 43 centimeters. To figure out how many meters it is, once again, we move the decimal point 2 places, because there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So it equals 0.4 3. Now, we know that so our next line tells us that we have 168 centimeters. So I had to take 2 meter sticks and line them up so that I could have that many centimeters. 1 meter stick goes all the way to 90. So if we move over 10, here we have 100. And now we have 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, and then we count over 8 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to put a small little cube on my 8 right here so I remember my spot. Let's see how many logs it takes us to get all the way down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I see here that there's not going to be enough room for me to put a whole nother log. So let's just see how many cubes it takes to get us here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So to get to 168 centimeters, we need 16 logs and 8 little cubes. 168 centimeters that they gave us. It took us 16 logs and 8 cubes to equal that. So let's try it again. Let's move the decimal point over 2 places because we know that there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So move it over 1, we move it over 2, and we get 1.68 centimeters. Now let's go to the next screen. It says, work with a partner. Each partner uses base 10 blocks to make 1 length in each pair. Compare the lengths and use greater than, less than, and equal to record your results. So you may work with a partner or work with someone at home to figure out which one is bigger. Let's do one together first. So I have 0.9 and I have 0.12, or I have 9 hundredths or 12 hundredths. Which one is bigger? Yes, that's right. 12 hundredths is bigger than 9 hundredths. Let's try another. So we have 24 hundredths and 42 hundredths. Which one is bigger? That's right. 24 hundredths is less than 42 hundredths. I will let you try the rest on your own. All right, let's go to screen 3. Use the print page. Use space 10 blocks to help you. So let's make a dot at 4 centimeters with the letter A and label it with the letter A. So let's find 4 centimeters. I'm going to look and I'm going to count over 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to label that with an A. Now they want us to make a dot at 0.1 meters and label it with the letter B. So we see that they want us to do it in meters, but we have centimeters, so we need to convert 1 meter to centimeters. So if we write this down, we know that we move the decimal place over 2 spots, and we get 10 centimeters. So let's label 10 with a B. Here is our next one. Let's try it on C. So let's move our decimal point over 2 places. 1, 2, and that equals 15 centimeters. So let's label that C. And the last one is 0.08 meters. And so let's move our decimal point over 2 places, and we get 8 centimeters. Which is where D goes.